5 ways to make content batching, which is you recording multiple videos in one session, easier for you if you do not have a marketing team or even a virtual assistant. In this video, I'm going to share what has worked for me as someone who has posted hundreds of videos on LinkedIn, who has almost 1 million followers on the platform, and who is now growing on YouTube. Quick reminder to subscribe to the channel if you find any of our content valuable. Let's start with tip number 5, which is don't batch before you hatch. I love this tip. It's something that I will always say. What this basically means is that you should ask yourself whether batch creating content is something that you should do at this particular stage in your content creation journey. If you were to be given a script, the most expensive camera in the world, a studio, you still may not be able to naturally communicate your message with the camera. One of the things that I do with clients is I encourage them to post one imperfect video a day for 30 days, just to get them comfortable with the camera, get them communicating naturally with the camera so that when they do graduate to batching their content, it doesn't seem like they're reading some awkward script. Another way to tell whether you're ready for batching is, can you pick up the phone right now and record at least one thing that you did today that could be helpful for your target audience, or record one thing that you learned today that they would maybe find helpful. If you can't do that without all of the other fancy things, such as a script, such as the lights, such as the camera, the whatever, then I would really reevaluate learning the skill of communicating to the camera and mastering the messaging and the delivery before making it fancy. And if you batch before you hatch, you get videos that seem very unnatural, where people obviously know that you're reading and you seem very robotic. And that could work against you building a brand that exudes your natural energy, exudes your natural communication style, and that can resonate with the right people. If you're not shining through your video as your natural self, you're going to potentially turn people off, and that could work against you. So don't batch before you hatch. Number 4, put it on the calendar. This is so important because you may have the best intentions to batch and to create content and to shoot multiple videos, but what has worked best for me is to see video creation as a responsibility in my role as a founder and business owner within my own company. Even though, yes, it's my own company, I still have a duty and a responsibility to create videos to not only reach new people, but to educate our current clients, to train our new team members, our existing team members. Video is a major responsibility for me. And changing that mindset from I'll shoot a video when I feel like it to it is part of my duty and my responsibility if I want my business to succeed is something that has really served me. And part of it being a part of your duty and a responsibility for your business to succeed is putting it on your calendar. In tip number 3, even though it sounds very appealing to shoot 15 to 20 to 30 videos in a content batching session, I would start off with an intention of recording 3 to 5 videos max. The reason is because there's a point of diminishing returns where you may not have the same vibe, the same energy, the same appeal the first video as your 5th video. You'll also have to do a lot more outfit changes. It can be very frustrating if you don't get exposed to the process of it. So what worked for me is I would just content batch 3 to 5 to start. And that kind of exposed me to the process necessary to content batch, and it compounded from there. I wouldn't go into the first few batches with a plan of doing 25 plus in one sitting, because it could just lead to endless aggravation and going as you meet little bumps in the road as you get along. And by bumps in the road, I mean you record 3 videos, mascara's everywhere, your hair is up because hairspray isn't working that day, your camera dies on the 5th video, things like that that you learn along the way that you learn to also avoid. So try to go in with the intention of just 3 to 5 your first time. This brings me to point number 2. Do it when you have energy. Most people will go into content batching. They'll just slap it on their calendar with no intention, earliest that they can in the morning, 7 a.m., 8 a.m. And we're talking about a night owl that doesn't even come alive or have energy until 2 p.m. And so you really have to have a certain sense of self-awareness. When do you have the most energy during the day? That matters because if you are down and you're trying to bring your audience up, if you're trying to uplift them, if you're trying to share your positivity with them, and you barely look like you rolled out of bed, you barely have enough energy to communicate good morning, then that's not going to vibe very well. And it could look like you're almost lying or being inauthentic. Ask yourself, when can you deliver the best possible message with the best possible energy during any given average workday? For me, that's usually around 12 p.m. or 1 p.m., where I have the energy to look at the camera and to give my best energy. It's not the morning. When it comes to content batching, you can't go into the session blind, which means that if I schedule a content batch at 1 p.m. on a Friday, I can't just go in front of the camera at 1 p.m. on a Friday and magically figure out what I'm going to say in this content batching session. So what has helped me the most is to understand that a content batching session is really made of two parts. The first part is preparing whatever it is that you're going to say in the 3 to 5 videos that you're going to record. And then the second part is the actual recording of those videos. There's also a third part, which is editing, but we won't go into that today. There will be another video on that. Again, subscribe to the channel if any of this is of value to you. So what has worked best for me is to split these into the same day, but different hours of the day. I will plan what I'm going to say in the recording part of the content batch. Let's say 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. I know what I'm going to do so that at 1 p.m. or 12 p.m., when I go into the content batch session, I'm not going in blind. I'm just sitting in front of the camera and I am going to record the videos. Put it on your calendar in advance as part of your responsibility to help your business succeed, but also be strategic as to when you put it on the calendar, because you want to have the part A session where you're writing, scripting, strategizing as to what you're going to say when you are in your internal work mode, which is you're not really talking, you're maybe quieter in the morning, you're doing your deep work, and you want to record when you're more in your communication mode. This brings us to tip number 1, which is double down on what works best for your brand. You want to put some time aside, maybe every week or every other week, to really look at the analytics of the videos that you are publishing on your social media channels. And you want to track the metric that matters to you most. If views matter to you most, you want to look at what videos performed the best, what videos got the most views, but also what videos got the most views and who were the views from. Because if your target market are entrepreneurs and a lot of your videos are just getting massive views, but very few of the views are coming from entrepreneurs, then you have to balance those metrics. Ideally though, you want to look at what topics, what styles, what backgrounds, what outfits, what colors, what delivery, what type of energy did you have in the videos that performed the best? And you want to ask yourself, how can we multiply this type of delivery so that we can double down on what works best? And that is different for every brand. I hope that this video was helpful for you. If you're looking for guidance on how to grow on LinkedIn, then you know where to go. Go to yougrow.club and register for the free LinkedIn challenge. God bless you. Ciao.